open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. So alive, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me.
Paradise is a place that's far from home. And lately all I ever see is everything I've ever known.
Lately I've been dropping ecstasy. Never done it, but I tried it just to see. Chasing freedom like I'm running out of youth. Ask myself what makes me happy, I can't seem to find the truth. People ask me what I do, I say that I'm chasing dreams. I know they just think I'm crazy, putting faith in make-believe. I don't blame them, cause some days I think the same. Like I've been wasting my time, but I don't got no time to change. I done cheated every time I've been in love. Chased the girl who doesn't care it all and hurt the one who does. I was raised to just forget about him, yeah, that's how I grew. Every year's a different state, every grade's a different school. Every couple years or so, that brought home a different mom. Brothers, sisters come and go, what the fuck's a family bond? I just wanna fly to anywhere but where we are. So take me away and take me higher, take me far, cause
Paradise is a place that's far from home. And lately all I ever see is everything I've ever known. Paradise is a place that's far from home. And lately all I ever see is everything I've ever known.
lately I've been dropping 2 at a time. It doesn't faze me, now I'm doing just fine. And as of lately, I've been breaking the law, chasing this money I'm not making every day of my job. Yeah, that's the evil that'll kill this race. Nobody feeling safe, kids concealing face, sealing fates just to fill a safe. Robbing steal your vases while your face is in a pillowcase. We in a gorilla state, chasing big gorilla state. Now we risking real stakes. Ain't no time to film mistakes, ain't no extra reels it takes. Tell me how much reels it take to stop the cinema and the sins you administer. Cause when it's finished, you'll see these minutes are just miniature. I tend to pop them when I'm kinda stressed, and I do not really mind the side effects. And I just wanna fly to anywhere but where we are. So take me away and take me higher, take me far. Cause
paradise is a place that's far from home. And lately all I ever see is everything I've ever known. Paradise is a place that's far from home. And lately all I ever see is everything I've ever known. Paradise is a place that's far from home.
I'm taking care of you.
Find me in the shadows, find me in the darkest night, lost in the battle, between wrong and right. I feel lightless, I'm so helpless. Pull me back from the edge, resuscitate, bring me back to life, resuscitate.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another beautiful match of Owlet Overwatch here in Stage 3. Coming to you, this is Stidle24, and today I'm not going to be casting. I'm going to be taking a back seat behind the scenes, but we are going to be bringing you Furious Unicorns facing off against Rinse and Shine, and your casters today are going to be Bemmie and MrAlan. Take it away, guys.
Thank you very much, Title. Once again, I'm MrAlan, and with me is Bemmie, which I have just now met, and I am glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad to have made friends with you too, Alan. How are you doing today?
Oh, just dandy, getting to see the Furious Unicorns versus Rinse and Shine. I always want to say Rise and Shine. We had this discussion literally 30 seconds ago.
It's a big mood in this community.
Yeah, but hey, I've seen these guys multiple times. Right now, Furious Unicorns, they're sitting with just 6 players for this little matchup here, so you're gonna see those names all night long. While other side, Rinse and Shine, they got 1 or 2 other players that they can sub in, but we'll see how that will unfold going into the rest of the match. But of course, Blizzard World, our first map of the wonderful evening here, and well, we're seeing not terribly standard or meta choices here. I mean, we'll always see a Reinhardt for the most part, and of course a D.Va and Mercy. But on the other hand, of course, Big Green, who knows if he's actually going with the Torb. I hope, and I can only wish.
We could only dream about it, but I think in the long run, what they're trying to read with cyberspace is that either they're trying to account for 2 things. They're either going to see something with Pharah, or on top of that, they're going to see a lot of flanking with the composition. But honestly, I think they're not expecting Goats, which is about to be run right now by the side of Rinse and Shine.
Yep. Rinse and Shine.
They're going to be in for a rude awakening. They need to make sure that they flashbang at least one of the supports.
They're going to have to be absolutely ready, because this is going to be a fast shotgun all. Well, they're going around the edge, not going to go head on. I mean, that's respectful, going straight into point, wasting no time. Paper Monk and looks like Beeflar going right at it, just hardcore aggressive Rhines, but Paper Monk, well, both Rhines will fall in the meantime. Beeflar, though, aggressive resurrection from Cornus to bring them back to full strength. And Draco going up top for just a moment, just to grab a little extra space and high visibility up there. But they still got 2 picks here, and well, they got to get on that point quick, because they got to contest it in order to 92% on that first point. Phoenix taking out the other D.Va. Baby D.Va out on point. Draco, though, being a little protected by Cornish right now, and well, Beeflard coming in, getting Big Green in. Well, it's probably actually getting a boop kill, not necessarily off the map, but enough concussive blast. Oh my gosh, Beeflard getting popped up, and the Earthshatter, I think, hit something like a lamp, and that didn't quite affect anyone on the point. So cyberspace off to a Reaper now, trying to get back to point, and looks like they're pushing people back, and Draco doing a good job at making space with those D.Va rocket boosters she has. Well, Quig, ooh, nice couple headshots to stagger out some other players.
Yeah, that was really amazing. I think, honestly, at the start, the beginning of that very long and antagonizing battle, it was very good from the beginning for the side of Rinse and Shine, just because they had so much healing going on. But once you kind of sort of focus fire on one of the main tanks, you're just kind of going to be able to just sort of domino effect into them. And they managed to demech Phoenix, which was also optimal. But then, like, they started getting the momentum still going on, and that looks like a very good Dragon Strike. Ooh, but a great response to Sound Barrier as well.
Yeah, it just split them off barely. He threw it out from so far back that they could easily respond to this, but now with Coalescence coming out with Big Green and, of course, a Graviton Surge. A good wombo combo to hit up there, and that is a lot of damage and healing in one spot. Self-destruct from Draco. She's going to hide behind that, and will get its Spa, who couldn't quite get out of the way, and demech Phoenix at the same time. So with that, after being put up against the wall, they're somewhat stabilizing. It's currently a 3-on-3, but oh, as Flutie goes down, Draco gets demexed as well. They are going to be pushed off this point, and they should be grabbing it here, unless Beeflar wants to make a last-minute stand with Cornish right behind him. Oh, the flame strike, though, to get Baby D.Va right off the point. And, ooh, Earthshatter from Paper Monk grabs nothing. They charge each other at the same time, but this keeps them off the point. Oh, my goodness.
They're contesting!
Cyberspace coming through with a Wraith form to keep them off at 98.4%. And that Reaper coming straight up to those tanks. Tank buster indeed. Phoenix, though, gonna remech here. Probably, well, Cyberspace, good job getting that Wraith form at the right time here. With the Zen Orb, looks like Lumbo finally come back in, but you can't stun that after your shield bash is down. But Cyberspace, man, woo, there you go, buddy.
That is one of the things about just sort of the advantage of defense, is that you have to, as attack, you have to contest this point. And one of the big things is that while you may have the man advantage, sometimes it doesn't really matter, especially with awkward spacing and cover coming in from Blizzard World. If you're able to sort of flank and sandwich your opponents, they're kind of sort of split up in the long run, and it may as well just have been a 3v3 versus a 3v3 on both sides. And you know, the fact that cyberspace has a lot of mobility with the shadow step and the wraith form allows them to be able to get back there in time, so they actually have enough mobility to contest, and that's going to be a good dragon strike right off the bat, especially with the Discord orb.
Yeah, Quig likes to sit in the very far back just to make sure it can't get eaten or any else, and you can't fall from that randomly.
Wow.
But hey, with a very good defense with that dragon strike leading things off, it seems to be the tanks and cyberspace working really well together, and Flutie OOs transcends to just top it all off. The cherry on top of that cake. Who actually puts a cherry on top of a cake unless it's actually like a cherry cake? I don't know, but hey, a full
Cheesecakes?
hode almost. I can see that.
Yeah, because you got like the raspberry dressing. I've seen it put with a cherry as well.
Okay.
So you make it all very berry.
I
So-
get it.
Just trying to save you there, but but basically, long and short of it is, yes, they had their cake and they could eat it too, because they were basically, this composition is not very orthodox and it won't work all the time, but in this case it does. Because why? Blizzard World, once again, with just the amount of coverage you can have, the Diva Bomb kind of doesn't really do you much justice on the side of attack, because basically all it does is it kind of forces out the point for the side of defense, but really that's about it, because there's so much cover for the side of defense to just be able to outmaneuver the Diva Bomb in time to get a lot of space cleared from that. On top of that, Flutie had really good orb usage with the Discord orbs. That was very efficient. And I think overall, really, just the fact that cyberspace running the Reaper and understanding that this was kind of a one deal situation, they kind of already had that momentum right off the bat. And the fact that they really just were able to hold on to that and trickle in is it's not everything you do. So that was kind of like a 1 in 100 chance of that happening.
I mean, good on them for thinking that they should immediately flex off here, or change to different hero pools.
Oh yeah.
From what they're being faced up against. But with your Diva Bomb points, we saw all the Diva Bombs were purely to essentially remech. They can never throw them really into the air into very strategic positions. So maybe this will change in our second round here, as Draco and Phoenix going to head off against each other on Divas. But Paper Monk, though, going off the Rhine, going to Orisa. And of course, Lumbo. Damage boost to Junkrat, ain't that a fun thing to deal with? Watch out for those pills, they can sneak up on you here.
Oh yeah, they can get you good.
And actually, Trinehart with a Soldier 76. I've seen it once or twice on this map, but usually on the high ground where they can get some uncontested damage. But Furious Unicorns going off up to the more fun part of the park. You get to ride the little eagle, the griffin, why not? But they're going to go all the way around and take, well, not really by surprise. They're going just a whole different route. We're going to go for that high ground advantage. Not a terrible idea. You're going to force Trinehart out. Ooh, but the Helix Rocket will get Flutie, but of course negated and resurrected back up. Now they engage, going left and right, not purely as one death ball of the team, but in that moment, Quig will fall, and a little bit of a push from Draco. Going to grab Paul as well. So, with people continuing to fall on either side, Beeflard has a shield. He's trying to get back, but the pocketing from Cornish is doing just fine at the moment to keep him up. And with Paper Monk back in the deal, he can throw all those multiple shields up, and well, now you have to dislodge an Orisa, which is always a very annoying thing. But Cyberspace, not afraid to get up in the face. And right now, Beeflard still swinging angrily. He's going to get right back in the front lines after chasing some people in the back. The Flame Strike, he will take down Paper Monk once again. The tire from Lumbo could equalize here, but he's going to get it up. Ooh, the shields were just in the moment, just blocking it barely. Sound Barrier from Flutie. He's going to get blasted high in the sky. Not quite clear to the water, but Beeflard will get a Nerf Shatter. Why not? Just end it. And Cyberspace, because why not? You can hit that orb on a dead body, and Mercy getting BM'd even in her death. Grab down Surge here. They're going to cap this point here. Close, but no cigar. Catch the person himself. Haldo coming in with a Lucio now. Is that desperation mode. Trickle, but they're going to, well, evacuate the point for the time being. I think it's Paul got a little caught up on the wall ride there, going the wrong way.
I think what was really also a good idea as well is just the fact that they kind of went on Furious Unicorns went on attack, and the reason why they sort of went through that loop around like was not for the element of surprise, but for that if they were able to get a early pick onto the side of Rinse and Shine, then pretty much when they started trickling in at point is that the length between that choke and the first point is so small that you're able to kind of just handle it, and that pretty much just allows you to sort of slowly transition into just holding on to that point and fighting them at choke, which overall was really great and well executed from Furious Unicorn. So I like that positioning, and I think honestly with the radiant healing from the 76 and that sweet helix rocket shot that we saw earlier, taking out I think it was Flutiolos. It was really I'm sorry, not Flutiolos, excuse me. It was one of the other supports.
No, I believe it was Lucio who got shot down in the end. But
it was the
course,
Lucio
resurrected
for
back
sure,
up.
but I don't. Yeah, resurrected back up, and that even was also a bit of a problem because at that time it might have been a good idea just to sort of hold on to that for one of your main tanks, because I mean, a Lucio would have been able to come back quite quickly, and you kind of need those tanks to fight because if one of them goes down, then the rest are just going to have a hard time as well.
Yeah, it was interesting. We don't often see a mostly full hold there on Blizzard World. Typically, the attackers always hit either a hard offense to break with they're running that kind of death ball type of composition, or it's that last desperation push in overtime that seems to always work for some reason. It's like, why didn't we play like that all the time? But regardless, getting close, 98.4%, not bad.
Is not bad at all, and I think that is really impressive. And it's like we're seeing a lot of the sort of concepts being translated from King's Row into Blizzard World just because of the similarities of them. Just close quarter, a lot of different high ground advantages for both sides, and just sort of unique DPSs that wouldn't work normally. Like seeing the Junkrat wasn't really too much of a surprise because we do see Junkrat sometimes on defense for the map in King's Row, so that could definitely work as well. So I think overall I really enjoyed it. It was a good match. I like the unorthodox calls, and I think we shouldn't read too much into what Rinse and Shine were doing, because good job on Furious Unicorns for being able to get that. But it is the first map, and sometimes people just need to shake those jitters off.
No, absolutely. And plus now, I mean, they've played each other before, but now it's always like that weekly reset of once you start to figure out a team again, then you can start playing against their strengths. Hopefully you can topple what has just been a quite staunch defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're about to go into Ilios, so I mean, that depending on which is like a million different compositions depending on which one you choose, and depending on which map it is. If I were Rinse and Shine, looking at the composition and their comfort, I would probably want to hope for Lighthouse because they had good intentions and concepts with what they did, in the sense of that they were able to try to sort of pick out their battles, like trying to take out the supports first right away, disregarding the tanks right away because they knew the tanks wouldn't be as strong with the support. So with Lighthouse, you're able to kind of sort of filter out who you want to pick off a little more easily just because of just the structure of the building and just the way that it is such an open field when you first get to Lighthouse trying to contest for that point. So that might be definitely what Rinse and Shine would want to look for at the beginning.
Well, the time is upon us to see what they will actually choose. All this rhetoric will come and meet hammer to steel, or whatever some type of allegory I'm trying to state here. But
Now arriving at Ilios.
let's see where we go first. Well, Lighthouse, many of the other ruins perhaps, but hey, look, it's ruins. Now,
So probably
interesting to see if we see a Widow. Well, Paper Monk already thinking ahead of me in that respect.
That's true.
But I mean, Widow, Ruin's probably the best map for it here on Ilios, I would say. But
Agreed.
it's really hard to pressure those Widows because there's so many places for them to stand on high, and they can always kind of evacuate and escape easily. But you know, if you have a good tank line, good dive heroes, then you can deal with that and put pressure. But if you don't put pressure on those Widows or anyone else who's sitting far back, you're gonna have a difficult time here. And well, and I'm seeing another Brigida here on the side of Quig. Wonder if they'll be pushing up as fast as they can, especially with Flutie's speed boost.
Most likely, and also I wouldn't. I see Paper Monk also talking about that Doomfist, which honestly, this is one of the best maps for Doomfist I've seen for a long time casting Overwatch, and it's just really effective. But in the long run, I'm either expecting Death Ball or I'm expecting Dive, and both are very effective. It's really just about making sure you can sort of assert your dominance on that point right before, so you can get those high ground advantages and make it a little more safer for the Widow to start just picking off people more easily. But looks like only one Widow is going to come out, and we're going to see goats.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're going to be taking opposite paths here, going around. Lumbo not going to be seeing anyone, but hey, the callouts will come, and they're going to go speed boosting right back into their territory here, deep inside, going out a little away from the group. In the meantime, Phoenix is going to have a tough time staying away from deep inside, because Zarya will melt a Diva if not taken care of. Beeflard, though, coming straight out again. He has the orb on him, Discord orb, and he has to back up for the meantime and get healed up here. Corners, though, already up to 75% and almost up to a Coalescence, of course, one of the quickest ult buildings in the game. And both tanks down on either side here. Darlis, I feel like he's going to have a tough time here on Genji. He might have to go back and switch off. Well, he is 60% way to a Dragon Blade. But here, tanks are trying to clean it up quick, going up that amazing shield bash here, but we'll have to retreat as going almost out. Oh, there she goes. Just as she gets her rally.
I'm really shocked this actually worked. They are not really too bothered by the Widow just because of the sheer amount of health they have on the characters. But overall, I think that was really impressive. I wasn't actually expecting that to work. I was actually expecting somebody to go down very, very quickly on the side of the support just because you have that Winston and the potential for Primal Rage. But they're already respecting him. They're switching on over, and I guess seeing if they can give a taste of their own medicine. But the rally is going to make it a little bit harder for them to win this fight because they could actually hold on to the ults and have the extra health just work in their advantage.
It's going to come down to Phoenix Diva Bomb if she can get that down, because they have so much sustain currently on the side of Fierce Unicorns. All that armor and health and all those tanks, it's going to be difficult to break. Big Green throwing out the Valkyrie to lead things off, and well, Beeflard just gets melted immediately, and there goes Phoenix going straight into the middle. Probably going to be a big one. Well, at least Cornish will go down. Couldn't quite fade away in time. Flutie hit out the sound barrier, but they're rallying back just a bit. Ooh, Phoenix couldn't quite grab it with the defensive matrix. Gonna throw out self-destruct into the side for Draco, but the Transcendence from its paw is gonna keep everyone alive, and Paper Monk does a good job of shielding the rest of the damage from that bomb. Ooh, Shatter from Paper Monk from Beeflard, I believe, didn't. It only hit one person, but with the rest of that, with the Coalescence from Cornish, after a very sloppy, long fight, they're going to bring it up to 95%.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate, especially with just the fact that they weren't able to build up their ults quickly. I mean, the Death Blossom takes a long time. Also on top of that, the Diva Bomb as well. There wasn't really a lot of quick ults except for Lumbo's Riptire, and that was roughly about it offensive-wise. And that just kind of sort of gives you a disadvantage, especially with the fact that the ult bank was working really well, and that rally allowed them to buy a lot more time to try to contest this fight a little bit longer, just because of that extra armor. Every health bit counts. So I mean, good stuff on them. Furious Unicorns showing quite the convincing take, and hopefully will be sort of a difference in environmental kills for them.
That's
it already looks like Furious Unicorns is about to go hard in the paint with that.
Yep, they got 3, 4 able to boot people in. Lumbo is going to try his best. He's going to throw out that concussive blast, perhaps.
And also Phoenix. Phoenix could possibly charge into a couple of players.
Very true. Those rocket boosters can always be a shock, especially people who can use them well. But both teams running a Fire Mercy deep inside, though, briefly left alone from Cornish. But they're going to keep fighting.
Oh my
no.
God.
A double
Bill,
pull
what did I
from
tell
either
you?
side. But Phoenix actually gets to escape and will get the kill onto Draco, who is the first blood on the Lighthouse here. And right now, Lumbo and Big Green throwing down lots of damage from up top. No one really being aggressive towards them. Quig has to come in and concentrate on more of the people, but Beeflard, the double take kill, the pull from the halt. He will fall, but hey, that is worth it regardless. Darlis will get stunned and hooked, but not before Quig in retribution will fall from Lumbo, who will have the Rocket Barrage coming into this next attack. Wow, ooh, that was a good fireball kill.
That was good stuff. I love them. We love environmental
Maybe
kills.
didn't
That's
know.
like that is like a sucker for us casters is when we
Mm-hmm.
see somebody use the environment. But overall, that like I can't say too much about that. That was pretty much a team fight where you just kind of wanted to pay attention to see who's going to win the pharmacy fight. On top of that, you also saw the initial pick from Phoenix, and Phoenix holding on to that charge when they went for the grab is amazing. So honestly, that kind of just worked out in their way. And look at Lumbo with that justice.
He gets one for it, but Quig was there to help with a little bit of stunning. He has that high noon, but
Oh my
Darlens
God.
is going to come in with the Death Blossom, and Lumbo not too far behind will bring him back in. And they're going to keep that with a team kill, going up 50% and climbing. They're finally coming in with some ferocity here. They want to make a show for themselves.
Yeah, like I said, don't discount them. And well was going to be that 50-50 shot, but they're really utilizing it very, very well. And I think honestly, this Reaper is working out very much in their favor because of the fact of the matter is that there's a lack of mobility from their tanks, and that's going to make it really hard. They do find Darlace, but I mean they got quite a bit in the All Bank to work with.
Oh boy. Deep inside, getting absolutely stonewalled there from a Rocket Barrage. Quig with the quick pull of the trigger onto Big Green, grabbing the Valkyrie. That is no healing
That was a
for
quick
you.
one.
Yeah, the quick draws is what makes it worth it. But now,
Quig.
Flutie going way back in the lines, and well, Flutie will fall here, trying to get an extra couple kills at the last second, but they will flip the point here right before that coveted 99%. But Quig coming back into the fight.
Ult economy as well is just going to be fine for them. Just as for the side of not Furious Unicorns, but Rinse and Shine, just because they actually do have quite a bit of ult charge that's able to get it quickly. And it's going to take a little bit. They're just kind of going to be hoping that Deep Inside doesn't have their pulse bomb, because if that is the case, then it will be pretty much smooth sailing from here, and that's pretty good zoning from Deep Bomb.
Diva Bob zoning out Draco, who was already low health with this whole hog, and now trying to pull in Paper Monk, who will throw up the Fortify and make their way back, and throwing down those Superchargers, the good old bongos. And boy, the damage pouring out from everyone is going to be just monumental as Lumbo throws out a rocket and hits deep inside that squishy Tracer. And it's Paul. Don't forget about the good old Zenyatta mains. So coming out and throwing those orbs, and they'll get a couple kills.
Oh!
Why not? Quig with a flashbang kill. Ooh, that feels bad for Darlace. And well, they're going to keep control of this point, going up to 99%. It's up to Fierce Unicorns, who are going to touch Flutie, coming in the last second over the wall as Lucio currently Discord orbed, but in the other side, Paul heading out the Transcendence will keep Paper Monk alive as deep inside hits the Pulse Bomb and will immediately fall once again. Lumbo, Rocket Barrage to get that pesky Lucio off the wall. Shoe Fly, don't bother me, Draco. D-Mech pulled back in, slapped down. And well, Beeflard onto Stagger territory. He'll drop, but it's tied up 1-1.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate, and I don't even understand why Deep Inside went on the. Well, I do
Tracer?
understand why they went on the Tracer, but like, here, what I'm trying to say is like, why didn't they just sort of contest and wait on the air side for the Transcendence to pass? I could have bought a little bit of enough time and maybe get a crucial kill off the Pulse Bomb, because they kind of just threw that Pulse Bomb in there while they were doing the Transcendence, so it didn't really work out in their favor. Darlace was just an absolute monster there, just because it's Orisa and Roadhog. Like, yeah, if you find the kill onto them, then that's great, but if they, like, Reaper's very much a momentum character, so once they actually start doing some heavy damage into you, you kind of start panicking, and there's a lack of mobility with Roadhog and Orisa, so that really does put the fear into the tanks.
Absolutely, and they're going to keep that Reaper, and while there's changes on the other side, Quig off to May deep inside, off to McCree. Definitely changing to what the map says works best for them. They're going to make their way to the point first here. Got to watch out for that May wall. They're going to block off one of those 5 entrances. And well, it goes off to the normal entrance point for, what was that? Rinse and Shine. There we go. I remember my colors. But Darlis will fall, so that, man, those headshots from May are going to be brutal. But she'll res up, or heal up, rather, as going back and forth in the kill feed. Paper Monk trying to get that last second shock onto her, but the concussive blast will throw her off point. Right now, Draco, tactical suicide, why not? And right now, deep inside, the only one left in the middle of the map, he'll hopefully get away, but right now, Lumbo's looking for a bit of damage to throw down.
Honestly, gotta say that May was very quick thinking on their part. Yes? No? Okay, understood.
I think
Anyway,
so.
it was... Oh man, come on! You know, it was the pun quick.
Yeah, I get it.
All right, thank you, Alan.
Whoa.
Anyway, so
We get one
overall,
each.
all right, fair enough. That concussion mine was awesome. That's honestly one of the reasons why you run Farah onto Lighthouse. Is just because of that potential environmental kills. Plus, it covers a lot of the ground in the front. Good barrage as well.
Well, she'll break the shield, D-Mech Draco, and the rest of the team will follow up with everything they can. And Draco, boy, that's a big push off the side. That's a diva on diva action there. Well, Flutie off onto Zen, the only one left on that incursion. And well, change is coming in deep inside, off to Farah.
I mean, I think they said that's far enough as to building up that point, and yes, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm secretly a pun caster disguised as a color. Anyway, so deep inside's kind of like stuck in this awkward situation, and that's honestly because there's no pharmacy going on right now. They're kind of focused on making sure this main tank sort of gets to the point and push on through, and getting B-Flard up to their Earthshard, because they really need to be able to stun these supports, and the Blizzard might help out, actually. Oh, wow.
Well, okay, Paper Monk threw off a jump and a boost, and he got thrown off the map just barely. But with that Blizzard coming out from Quig, they're going to make a lot of headway there, as they're going to rush into point and finally flip it here. They've been waiting to use those for a while, so not bad investment, just one ultimate used to wipe the other team. And they're building up the rest of their ultimates, both sides, that is. So this next fight, this next engagement, will be a game of chicken to see who can pull the trigger first.
It is pretty much a game of chicken, but I think honestly, Darlace with the Death Blossom is going to be able to do it very, very well. You got the Shadow Step, and then just hop right on in there with the Wraith form, and just go ham, why don't you? And then their Valkyrie's about to come in, so we'll see how this goes. I think that would be optimal, especially getting deep inside.
Oh, Big Green with the Battle Mercy going to grab deep inside, though. Well, Death Blossom not going to grab much, just a little bit of damage, but the defensive Matrix is going to keep it. With Earth Shatter and Rocket Barrage from different sides here, they're just battling to see who can survive the chaos with the self-destruct. Going to clear out the room, as people not sure who quite threw that one out. And well, Quig going out into her icicle form, going to heal back up for the time being. And Big Green escaping that cryo freeze. And well, in close quarters, Rocket Barrage from deep inside, but they can easily take that one down. Defensive Matrix and Paper Monk coming in with a lot of damage here. That Tesla cannon in big groups is a very scary thing. He throws out the Primal Rage just to clear out the point, because they want to secure this victory and this map here, going with 90%. And well, it's going to be tough for them to get back.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, Lighthouse seemed like it was going to be the ideal sort of map for them, and Lumbo is really feeling it right now, and there's no time to contest. But overall, that was just some solid defense action from there, and the fact that they sort of, instead of focusing on going in meta composition, going counter heroes, just kind of worked out in the favor. Darlace definitely deserving that Pogs very well.
Of course, with the Reaper for a time wasn't quite viable, but then he got tinkered with, he got buffed a tiny bit, and with, of course, these tank-heavy compositions that are now becoming more meta, especially with Brigitte coming into the mix, and now Wrecking Ball, or Hammond as everyone likes to call him, Reaper may be slightly more usable than before, just because of the potential of fast-moving, tanky compositions.
Yeah,
And honestly, because just that the hero compositions that were running on the side of Furious Unicorns were not very mobile, it just kind of made it more uh made it more look like Darlace was a rock star. So I mean, good on Rents and Shine turning this back around. Now it's 1-for-1, and I think this is going to be this says a lot about what we're about to see. And I think honestly, if looking like we're going to a 2 CP map, it looks like this is going to be very much in the favor of potentially Rinse and Shine to do this, because apparently they really feel themselves in a long battle when you have to focus on a point, because they work very well in that coordinated kind of stature. I guess it's interesting that we didn't see much in the way of defense on the side of Blizzard World, just because it's a hybrid map, so they did have to protect a point. But I guess honestly, if you have more leniency, I guess they're more comfortable. I think also on top of that, just the Furious Unicorns, while running the standard compositions, they're just kind of they were the standard compositions back a little bit ago, not the current ones right now. Like dive is still effective, yes, but like it's not as effective as it once was, especially with the fact that Darlace is, or not Darlace, excuse me, but Reapers is a little more prominent now. Also, Sombra's updated as well, made it a little more prominent, especially with the hacks and the infinite invisibility now. So it's easier to spot her, but like it's still a prominent thing. So like honestly, there's so many ways to counter the dive at the moment that you kind of gotta think about changing up your heroes, because we did see some very standard compositions, and even then, as much as I disregard goats a lot of the time, goats work really well right now because of these updates. Because you're going to take in a lot of damage. You're going to experience a lot of lack of using your abilities because of those flanking DPSs now. But like the thing is that with that being said, that goat composition that we saw at the beginning of Furious Unicorns, I think if they actually stuck with it, it might have actually been able to work out in their favor. It's just kind of hard to build up the momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. The illustrious days of dive compositions are starting to flutter out just a bit here. As you were saying, dive a little bit more easy to work around here with, especially all the CC that these newer heroes are starting to get now.
Never goes away. It just gets updated.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, with Hanamura here, 2CP, of course, it's going to be interesting to see. Well, let's see where they hold first point. Typically right at that doorway, that archway is a good choke point. Or if you want to let them in, then you can engage on your own. Well, it depends on what people start to run, especially those really fast moving with the, tanky health ball compositions. So, well, we'll have to see when we get in. As we have a few changes here. Draco going out with Leo. Hello, Leo. Welcome to the game. And Rinse and Shine are
Whatever
done.
happened to cyberspace?
Cyberspace played the first game, and I guess he had to go.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, he definitely. I was about to say, I was like, man, they could really use that Zarya. But all right, I think it looks like we're gonna go on Hanamura, which is my favorite joke. Is what is a cow's favorite map?
I don't know. What's the favorite map?
Hanamura.
Nice.
Thank you. Well, I mean, in all seriousness about the 2CP and just Hanamura, I would honestly say Rinse and Shine could take this again and make it 2-1, definitely in their favor, just from the standpoint of, what would I say? I would say more in the lines of just, they're really up with the times, if you will, and I think that's just going to be a big thing. And Furious Unicorns, they seem to be sticking with what's comfortable for them. They're not really adjusting quite yet, and maybe we'll see something, but who knows, maybe we'll see something totally different, because I mean the hybrid map was kind of like a I don't know what to say, but there is some aspect of a 2CP there where basically it's a control point and then you have to go to a different thing. But and that was kind of like a very convincing win from the side of Furious Unicorn. So they may be able to take this. I mean, who knows, man? It's 1 for 1. The world is our oyster, and Overwatch is a great game.
Absolutely. And well, Darley seems to be a bit of a flex player. Who knows if he'll stick on that Doomfist or not, but I'm expecting very tank heavy compositions, at least for the defenders here. Beeflard, of course, Reinhardt, that shield fits nicely. Nice and perfect in that first doorway here. As long as you have good healing and you can keep that shield up and not have it break, you should be just fine for the time being. But if on the other side, they like to run a very damage-heavy composition of shield breakers, perhaps, Rinse and Shine. I mean, they're doing the troll picks right now, but they won't.
Well, Symmetra Bastion's been a thing for a little bit at the beginning of the updates.
They'll pull off a little cheese. You never know.
I'm a filthy Bastion main. I do love me some Bastion. Nah, it wouldn't happen as much as I would love it, but it could work just because of the high ground advantage. But you're absolutely right about expecting to see a lot of tanks, or at least a good amount of defense with a lot of heavy fire for defense. So we're seeing from the Furious Unicorn, if I can talk today, we're seeing Deep Inside running their Reaper, and that's probably going to be a huge factor as well, because you're expecting Paper Monk to go charge at some point with Lumbo sort of bubbling them up, and that's just going to be nice for them to pick that up. So you're probably going to see Deep Inside hang out in the back and see Beeflard and Leo kind of sort of more in the front lines handling stuff while Quick takes the picks and the Discord orb from Flutie, and here we go.
Boy, Tokyo drifting right into the point. They're going to split the team here. Cornish was off to the side, nowhere near for healing, and Beeflard will fall just immediately. A charge onto Leo. Welcome to the game, smashed into the wall, but Darlace will hit that rocket flail onto Flutie, and both supports down, and they are looking worse for wears here. Furious Unicorns, they're going to get on the point just to stall for a couple seconds here, but wow, smash and grab, they're right into that point, and they're going to have lots of time to get to point B, but that could mean absolutely nothing as point B on 2CP. Woof, we've all been there.
Wow, I guess when in doubt, goats. Just disregard everything and just go goats for like the first point, and then like switch it up later on if you can't work with the ults. But overall, that was some solid stuff. Just the sheer aggression and Darlace shield bashes and stuns are just so crucial. Like Darlace is really showing up to be like one of their star players, and like its paw, excuse me, is like really good as well. And oh my god, okay, never mind, Bastion coming into play. That was a little bit of a scare.
They weren't quite expecting that one, and as Quig coming out with a few kills, they will resurrect Beeflard here, but Deep Inside, while he did fall in that fight, they did not expect a large barrel with many bullets at a high RPM coming out.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Yeah, I know. You rush into that point, and that little barrel got stuck into Paper Monk's stomach. He was like, "Hello?" Then he got blasted.
Yeah, you want me to make something of that, Alan? I mean, that was just a big old gun turret coming in right now, and that's going to be a Dragon Strike coming to flank around, but they're still sticking with the goats, which is really shocking, I will say that.
They're not going to let you have any time to talk about it, as they'll throw a Graviton Surge, but to grab absolutely no one. Bastion up top with the heals, Deep Inside trying his best, and up comes the tank configuration, and with Phoenix out of mech, that's going to be hard, as the charge from Paper Monk. He gets it, but there's just so much damage pouring out from Deep Inside. He'll get 2 with tanks, and just, boy, for how little mobility they kind of have with their team currently, they're making their way around the defensive side of this map.
Yeah, they're quick to do it, and the fact that, like, Deep Inside was able to get their ult very, very quickly is, like, impressive. I wasn't really expecting that right away for the second push, but you already see that, like, they wanted to see if they can get anything with the ults, and they got a first tick with the goats. So, I mean, honestly, that is as good as you can ask for in a situation like that, where you have heavy firepower coming down at you in a position where you can't really reach them with the composition that you're going in. So, I mean, good on them for that. And Phoenix holding on to that Diva Bomb is going to be great.
And with Beeflard, with Earthshatter, his shield does break, so that could be prime time for the
Guys.
self-destruct, but they're not quite in that moment. They're going to have to back up as Darlace will fall, and they don't want to take on a 5v6. They know what's waiting for them. They still hear that Bastion whirring up and warming up those good old guns.
Yes, it's whirring up. Oh my gosh. Now they're just gonna like shake it up. It's gonna honestly, I would suggest not going up that high ground and just kind of like, I don't know, not being readable, but it's kind of hard not to be read by the opponents, especially with just how big the chokes are in Hanamura. I mean, this is definitely a good way of going about it, but they gotta be able to use that like Diva Bomb very, very resourcefully.
Boy. And with damage pouring out from all sides here, just not even minding the point, just shielding a Bastion and damage boosting him from up top. They're going to keep him in a Flame Strike on the Lumbo, who tried to get deep in there and try and get face forward, right in the face of the Bastion. Well, they're going to stagger Big Green here, who's having a rough time. But currently, well, Phoenix still there, was going to go up top and around. B-Far can get a couple swings at her.
They sent a Hanzo by himself with like against a Reinhardt, I think also Reinhardt, a Mercy, and Bastion. That was kind of an interesting call. They're kind of spread all over the place there. It was very, very difficult for the like. I understand they're trying to like figure out what to do in this situation, but that was
Good
a
one.
Ooh,
I don't know, man. A fat finger.
Yeah.
Then he just kind of waltzed right in there. He's like, I accept
I
my
accept
fate.
it, yeah.
But, I mean, they have many ultimates to rely on here. The self-destruct going in the back by Leo, that's going to force them out in there. And it's going to grab two, and they're going to walk right into an Earthshatter, but they're going to get pushed back for the time being. Not a lot of follow-up Paper Monk to charge on a Flutie, who's just not rejoined the battle. That feels bad. Deep inside, though, once again, tank configuration is going to clear out, and, well, a 3K.
Deep inside.
Yeah, boy, he is sticking with the Bastion. We don't quite see it often, but it's currently working for them, and why fix what ain't broke?
That is true. Why ain't broke? Word. So, honestly, Darley switching over to the... I just would say, like, go dive. That's what you need to do in this composition, because deep inside would be overwhelmed by flanking DPSs. That's like one of the big counter heroes. On top of that, you just have a lot of response. Like, get a like Lumbo, that's fine, but like maybe switch up a little bit. Like you need that aggression and you need that mobility to just overwhelm them, because you're kind of like slowly charging in there and they're getting ready to attack you. So you need to be very careful about that stuff.
Yeah, and currently, Fierce Unicorns are setting up a very widespread defense here. Leo will get pushed off this high ground very soon, rejoin the team. But a Dragon coming in from the bottom is going to split them in twain, as Darlos will fall first, and with that chaotic double Dragons coming in. Seems like Furious Unicorns have quite a good hold here, and they are reading their opponents quite well, as they are repelling attack after attack here.
Yeah, I just realized there's a minute left. We've been here for like 7 minutes, Alan, and there's only one mark. There's only one mark there. It's just so crazy, because 2CPs, normally it's very infamous for not being able to, hold the first point, but hold the second point for as long as you can. So we'll see how this goes for them. I think honestly their ult economy is faring pretty well, and I think the fact that there is no tank mode for deep inside is going to be very beneficial, and Cornish is going to be very rushed to get that Valkyrie ready, because once they drop that transcendence, it's going to be hard. So we'll see how this goes. Oh my god,
double Diva Bomb. Only one of the teams going down, and with a plethora of ultimates getting thrown out into the field, Darlos will be coming in with a tire soon, and that could be the equalizer. Massive burst damage will go for B-Fly, grabbing down that big rectangle here, and well, another push put into the dumpster here as Darlos will fall. 10 seconds left. They're going to be staggering in here. Oh no, Flutie will fall to a flame strike, but should be able to brought back up as long as Cornish will, well, maybe the resurrection isn't up there. Oh, Earthshatter Gonna throw it out, but he will get
Are you
down
kidding me?
immediately. Phoenix demeched immediately with a Valkyrie early on to point by Big Green, trying to throw out as much healing as she can. Quig once again with the dragon just to split up the enemy. Big Green with a risky resurrection. Headshots though, and Leah will keep them deep inside. Why not take configuration to finish things out? Lumbo onto Genji, but he's gone already. No reflect for you, my friend. Paper Monk cannot get to the point in time.
I don't believe it. They've kept that bastion and they did it. They managed to hold on to that point for over 7 minutes. So, I mean, that's something. They managed to at least get, I think, a second tick or close to.
Close
Yeah.
to a 71.5% to be exact. So you have a small amount of breathing room, but of course you always want to defend that first point if they can. And well, Darlace, he's on that Reaper
Curious
again.
unicorns are gonna run goats, man. I tell you.
I'm
Goats.
wondering if Rinse and Shine here will be expecting that. I mean, they're going through a little bit of burst here. Lumbo and Darlace throwing out lots of damage and closed and tight spaces here. So we'll see if Fierce Unicorns can position themselves wisely to not take the brunt of that force.
Hopefully they don't, but I mean, it's going to be hard to say just from the standpoint of that you have sort of on this defense right here is going to be Paper Monk, and you're going to be relying a lot on Paper Monk with their Orisa, just because that is a shield that you cannot lose right away. And there's, again, lack of mobility. You got to be hopeful that Darlace is going to play bodyguard with this. They might just be protecting the high ground and just sort of letting them go through the choke and just try to take them out on point, and maybe say that's their best bet.
Well, perhaps, and Lumbo, of course, with the hopeful trap and mine on the stairs leading into the wonderful Zen Garden before the point A. Maybe they can grab someone there, but they're most likely going to know that they're going to be running against that usual composition here. Goat's coming in. Well, they have the choice of when to engage here. Moira going to throw up her orb just to grab an extra couple bit of damage, but B-Ford gets caught on that trap just as I hoped and just as Lumbo hoped. Phoenix getting dangerously close to being demeched. Well, she does. And Darlace getting stunned in the meantime by Quig. That's exactly who you need to target as a Brigitte, that close counter tank buster. It's Paul getting separated out and will be able to take down. Oh boy, getting rocket flailed away though to safety. Oh, but B-Ford coming in with the flame strike from the back. Don't forget about those Reinhardts coming back into the fight here. Paper Monk going to get thrown out into the... Oh, God, flame strikes again from B-Flar. Just close encounter, and, well, team kill, nothing short of it here. They're going to grab it in just a little less time, but still a little over 7 minutes. Great.
Yeah, it's goats. What do you want me to say about it, Alan? It's goats.
Goats.
You have
It's goats.
so much firepower. You have a lot of healing. Darlace was on the Reaper, and I was expecting them to come at it from the other side and sort of sandwich them with the rest of the team, but not to be the case. There is going to be the Riptire, though. Ooh.
15% before that sound barrier. Doesn't feel good. And Quig coming in. Not even with her. Well, I guess she already used her rally at some point, but Corner's coming in with the coalescence finally. And Lumbo, oof, boy, not feeling good. And they're going to be pushing off on this point. 4 people just above that magic 3 mark. That fastest capture progress here. And Darlace coming in to stagger, recalling to get the health back as quick as she can. Blinking in and out of the point so they cannot advance as fast as they want to.
Wow.
Booty coming in with the sound barrier, and of course, Diva Bomb, getting thrown out stationary, but Darlace doesn't quite see and get the wrong angle at the end of that barrel. And Lexicon coming in once again with the rocket barrage, rocket pods. But bad timing on that Transcendence as they throw it out just after it ends. The Maywall not too much there to defend against that much damage. It gets immediately demolished, and they are just looking furious right now. I guess it's in their name. It's suitable for them. Darlace once again back on point as Tracer. Recalling and blinking. The story of every Tracer main that ever existed here. But they are just having so much sustain at the moment. They could probably build up a couple more ultimates if they need to. Phoenix now with a self-destruct. This could be pretty big. Oh, with the stun from the Earth Shatter. V-Far's going to come up, but he can't get the shield. He gets booped as the shield goes the wrong way. And boy, they are stabilizing just barely here. It's Flutie and Deep, though. Tank and supports coming in, working hand in hand. They're trying to bring back what was rightfully theirs. Perhaps Deep inside with a nice right click. And boy, oh boy, the sustain and the ultimates built up. But he gets, Junkrat gets, oh god, absolutely massacred. And up above the points, he cannot contest here. Oh, it's 2-1.
Play of the game.
I feel sick in my stomach after that. That was so bad. Just from the standpoint of bad to the bone. It's goats, man. That's goats for you. But unfortunately, I think the standpoint was it's like, I don't know why that was such a big problem for them, because they had the right heroes, they were responding to the right things, and look at this composition right now. They were hero switching a lot just to try to contest and also just bring as much stun and pause as you can. So maybe the lack of alt uses was coming into play, because all we did see was like an Earth Shatter and then the Diva Bomb, and that was about it. And then the rest of the DPSs and supports were switching up.
Yeah, I mean, we saw multiple fights with multiple ultimates on either side, and they were used in quick succession, and in those chaotic moments, it just seems Furious Unicorns, with that spaced out defense they had for that first hold, seemed to work out just a little bit more efficiently rather than Rinse and Shine's kind of let's sit in a corner and try to maneuver our way as best as possible around these attackers.
Yeah, and again, calling back on that hero switching, it just was making it so difficult. Like we saw maybe one pulse bomb, and that was about it. Or like, I don't know, there was like one moment we saw a 76, the next moment we saw a May, and there was like, okay, cool, but you got ice wall zoning, that's fine, but where's the blizzard? Where's the tac visor? Where's all this? You need that. And overall, it was just kind of overwhelming for them. Panic hero switching is just the worst. So being good on Furious Unicorns, they made goats work, and they didn't make us sit through another 7 minutes of Hanamura.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Well, it's payload, and we're actually going to see a payload move this time, so we'll see if
That's
this is going to be a
exciting.
3-1. Oh, yes, it is. It is very exciting. Are we going to... So, will Furious Unicorns close this out, or Winston try and keep this stream alive?
Well, I mean, with such large areas here for Watchpoint Gibraltar, it opens up a lot of space for Widowmaker, which we haven't seen too heavily here. Our map choices for this week aren't quite, I guess Blizzard World somewhat, but by and large, it seems that these teams aren't quite running Widowmaker maybe as much as they wanted to, perhaps. I believe Furious Unicorns has, their player Blue, who currently is not in this week, is a DPS and a little bit of a Widow player. So, working around what players they do have, it just seems that their current compositions are working for them. But, of course, large areas, especially with the hangar phase and Watchpoint Gibraltar. Well, that'll be interesting to see if teams can actually hold there, because that can always be a very troublesome point for defenders.
It can be, but if you lose that first point, I mean, there's not really that big of a deal, because honestly, if you don't hold it there, you can hold it very easily at the second choke before they get to the second marker. There is so much you can do with that, because the thing is with that second marker, that high ground is so ridiculously powerful for defense. So I would say if you want to really throw off anybody's yams on the side of attack, just hold that point and save your ults for that. That could definitely work in very much their favor, and Rinse and Shine could definitely work that to their advantage, because they did use high ground very, very well on the side of Ilios. There we go.
Nice.
Just trying to thank you. Finding names, taking names. We got this. We take those. But overall, I think really in the long run, Furious Unicorn, I don't know if they know anything else apart from goats. So we'll see if that works. I mean, I'm excited to see what competition they pull up here because they've been running goats for attack for like everything now.
Yeah, well, they're gonna have to most likely switch it up here. Those in-your-face shock metas and compositions may not work here, as Rinse and Shine can possibly easily outmaneuver and position themselves to where you have to have some form of range on either side to deal with those pesky heroes who like to escape when they quite shouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if we see perhaps a Pharah, or maybe like especially some more divey heroes, Winston, Genji popping out as well. Just get into all those curious, interesting places to where they can just wait it out and wait for that right moment to dive down and unload whatever they have in their arsenal.
Sombra is pretty prominent as well, I would say. Very much in the sense that there's heal packs you can hack that are very, very useful. Like through Car Wash, you can get that essential big heal pack, or the small heal pack that's midway between stairs on left lane. That could work very well in your advantage. The EMP. Usually, a lot of the times, I see second choke being held is because they save the Sombra EMP and drop it right then and there, and then they just dive in and just like a pack of piranhas just eat up the attacking team, and that usually works out very well. And they hold that point for a very long time, to the point where it's not all the time they hold on to that point specifically. They sometimes do, but more than not, that they eat the time bank to the point where it's kind of like either OT or very close to it, and that makes it very, very clutch and very more beneficial for them not to be able to finish that map on the side of attack.
Yeah, well, I'm very interested to see how these teams will utilize high ground all throughout the map, especially through point 2, and if they get to it, point 3, or point C, however you would like to denote that. As of course, there's always that pesky and annoying high ground that those attackers will get on that last stretch going towards the ever-present, almost taking off rocket, which the payload will eventually trigger if they get there. And that is a tough place to try and get to if there's a Widow or anything else staging themselves and just laying down damage unpressured. But with both teams ready, we get into the potential final map here. Watchpoint Gibraltar. I enjoy it. It should be pretty fun. Well, let's see who chooses what. Maybe some dive. Whoa.
Whoa! Dive? You're telling me dive? At a time like this? I don't know. Let's wait and see what the heroes are chosen. We may even see a hydration. Whoa.
Perhaps. But, of course, the players need to load in first. That slow internet, yo.
You know what I actually wouldn't be surprised to see is potentially maybe a pull pork. Arissa Roadhog is actually pretty good here, especially on defense. High ground works very well. Can always account for the snipers too. I mean, Widow is going to be very prominent here. I would say Widow's actually more prominent here than Hanzo, just because you like having that sort of like Widowmaker ult, and it just allows you to sort of just get all that information, because there's a lot of flanking ability in here for Gibraltar.
Yeah, and of course we've seen, especially in Overwatch League and other high-level playing, competitions, that once those walls come out for Widow, it basically will, depending on who's playing Widow, that will stop an entire team for the length of that ultimate.
Wow.
They know how impressive those Widow players can be, so it's just like you're just stalling them for the additional 15 or whatever seconds that those walls are up. But who knows if we'll see some incredible professional awesome
3-2-1 with a Mei?
Perhaps. I mean,
okay, it's
never
attack.
know.
I just misread that. That is an attack. But this counter dive, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it a lot. You just got to be careful. Like, normally we sometimes see double snipers on just attack and payload thanks to the Overwatch League. And, you know, not only having Darlace on the Widowmaker is sometimes a little bit risky, but we'll see how it goes. We're seeing mirror for mirror. So I think overall mirror for mirror would work out very much for defense, but we'll see how this goes.
Boy.
Deep
Paper
inside,
Monk.
yep.
Yeah, Paper Monk wasn't quite expecting the mass mobility coming straight down that small area there as he tried to make it out. And, well, Leo will fall on the other side of things. And, well, with one Widow down, that opens up the, well, the entire shooting lane for Quig currently. But she got to work around some shields as Paper Monk rejoining into the battle, throwing down the trusty Winston bubble. Lumbo is going to go deep, but he'll get, oh boy, he gets thrown out right around that corner. Couldn't quite escape it in time. And with diving heroes just going back and forth, trying to keep pressure on everyone they can here, it's quite a sloppy area and already a primal rage. That is one of the quickest primal rages I've seen in quite a long time. But Leo actually gets melted down to probably almost 100 HP there, just according to his bars up top. Deep inside, looking to throw some shurikens from up top. Tries to dive in on Lumbo, who wasn't quite down enough health. But with the self-destruct from Phoenix, that will evacuate the rest of the team of Furious Unicorns. Currently trying to avoid the shots of Lumbo. Or I'm sorry, Lumbo. Darlace, who, well, actually does go down to Quig in the end.
I mean, it was pretty much coming down to who could flank who the most in the sense of Widowmaker picks, and on top of that, also just Deep Inside and Lumbo with the Genji battles and who can get that Dragon Blade the quickest as well. Deep Inside still working on that just because of that early pick thanks to Darlace. So overall, you want to see how these flanking DPSs are going to be coming into play because this is mirror for mirror. The DPSs usually kind of are the ones that are crucial.
Oof.
Oh my god.
Boy, yeah, we see those dives and those counter dives, and just the Tesla cannons going back and forth is just a non-stop, well, kaleidoscope of colors as they just find their connection points with electricity, getting all the good tingly bits on each heroes. But Lumbo will take out Quig, who is sitting in server room trying to lay down some damage, and Cornish coming out with a Valkyrie. We'll get the resurrection off to the side, and the self-destruct will just cause more chaos as everyone goes away from the payload, including the attackers for the time being here. And Lumbo has the Dragon Blade. Who knows if he'll try and pop it out. He's constantly being pressured. He doesn't have his dash back at the moment. Whoa, boy, with that Transcendence out, that will be the perfect time for him to throw it, and he'll get back, healed up. He's looking to use it. Or I want him to use it. Please use it. Okay, don't use it. That's just fine. Quig up top, still throwing down some damage. But Paper Monk, though, the dive is prevailing on the defensive side, and they're doing a good job reacting to each other.
They're doing a great job, and I think that is really nicely done that they are still able to hold on to it. They do lose Big Green, but honestly, the grand scheme of things is they are not too far away and they can fly easily to Phoenix, and then Phoenix can just jump right back in there, and the old economy is working great. And this is looking like Rinse and Shine could be able to hold on to it as long as they don't get overwhelmed by Deep Inside's Dragon Blade, which they may drop the Widow information first just so that Dragon Blade or Deep Inside has a good opening.
Boy, Lumbo falls with his blade, but on the opposite end, Deep Inside will throw out his. Transcendence comes out, but a little too late.
No way.
He already grabs two. Phoenix will actually grab Cornish, who couldn't quite grab some cover in the meantime with that massive burst damage from the Diva Bomb. They're going to keep pushing forward here, nevertheless, and they're going to grab that first checkpoint with just about 18 seconds left. And, well, Paper Monk's trying to get out of the area as they are, well, they're still in the high mobility, but they can still get caught out here in second phase.
That was simply just the fact that Lumbo went down very, very quickly and they couldn't drop the ults. There was nothing really that they could have done after that because you had a Dragon Blade coming into you. Maybe potentially Paper Monk could have done something, but in the long run, that was just kind of a downhill situation from there. So, I mean, there's still very much a fight if they can keep the second choke in their favor, because they could hold that for a very long time and whittle down that time bank even more.
Yep. Quig with the walls. She can see everyone, but she's got to land those shots to make them count here. She's currently half health. The shurikens ever so closely flying next to her face. But Leo going in deep. He's so low health here, but he's going to have to make his way back off that primal rage, get healed up. And with the Dragon Blade finally coming in from Lumbo, he's in the back, but ooh, the Transcendence was immediately there, and finally Quig throwing down the shot. Canceling that all of another Dragon Blade on the other side of things, once again deep inside. Well, he saw the Mercy slash at her, but he gets lost into a different room here, and he's going to have to step inside a well, he's just going to walk right into a Diva Bomb and look at the shiny lights and explode, as the rest of the team of Furious Unicorns are going to have to back out for just the time being. They got not much time left.
Yeah, it was a good play to bait out the Transcendence, and I think they're thinking about the long game right now, so they might be able to hold on to this for a very good long while. While Lumbo didn't get too much benefit in the side of Dragon Blade, there's no support ults coming into play. They just gotta be careful that Flutio's don't get their Transcendence in time. But it takes a while for Zenyatta to be able to get their ult back.
Boy, but Draco and Leo working in tandem call out its pause Transcendence. So now with that out of the way, with not many actually no ultimates on the board for anyone, it's just going to be a battle of attrition to see who can mobilize themselves better. As well, its Paul gets brought back in, and well, defenders doing quite a good job. Oh, the Dragon, I believe, got 8 at the meantime. Good job from Phoenix to eat that up with the defensive matrix. Big Green with the Valkyrie, almost a resurrection, coming back in. Lumbo with a reflect onto Flutie, who is, they're holding that right click as best as they could. Resurrected back up, still in a bit of a sticky situation, but Lumbo, he felt good about the kill, but he gets taken out in the back. Quig, though, coming in with another sniper class and making himself heard. Big Green goes straight into the center, gets the resurrection. Phoenix will get the mech back just briefly, though, as they're going to blast through that mech. Oh, boy. Darlis gets dashed through, and they're pushing it in overtime. Ooh, boy, Lumbo has the Dragon Blade, but he better get himself out of there, because he has to save that for the last minute and a half that Fierce Unicorns has to push here.
I must say, this is quite the interesting push coming in from Furious Unicorns. They are working off of fumes here, just from the standpoint that their ults are so separated. If you look at the percentages, they are just so far apart from each other. And if they stall this long enough, they might be able to do it where they have all the ults at once after the 60 seconds, but they got to be careful not to lose players and don't overextend themselves, which seems like they're doing pretty okay at the moment. Oh no! Lexicon!
Boy, but the thing is, Leo was going in there, doing a good job playing leapfrog in a sense, kind of diving in and out while putting pressure on that spawn door. But of course, if you get a little overzealous here, you will fall. Darlis, though, tries to blink in, but the arrow to the face will stop them right in their tracks. Diva Bomb right up into the center next to Halo. Lumbo will fall just after using that Dragon Blade. That does not bode well for them, but they will grab. Oh, another dragon is eaten by Phoenix. That is 2 in a row. Paper Monk charges. They payload 2 inches in front of his face. They will continue through. He almost has that Earth Shatter, but with a Diva Bomb going in the back just to create space and chaos. Won't grab anything in the meantime, but in that chaotic moment as well, tanks are doing a great job as going from squishy to squishy. Pulse Bomb almost gets stuck on Leo, who almost walks back onto it as well. They're doing just fine for themselves with the massive momentum they are building up here. Paper Monk just needs one more swing, but the Transcendence, he's going to have to throw it down. He'll stun him at least, but with that mass healing coming on, there will be no follow-up for him, and they are going to be hard-pressed here with no ultimates. Big Green will have it. Oh, Valkyrie, maybe. That's if she can get back into the fight in time. Self-destruct. Ooh, boy, that's going to be rough. Down she goes, and they're going to keep pushing through. Just a few more people to stop. And boom, bap, boom. Hey, look, a dragon finally came out from Quig.
They did that. Cherry on top. Calling it back because it might be the last map. Unless we play map 5 just because. Do we play map 5 just because?
Maybe. We'll put it out to a crowd vote.
No. Don't. I need my Crazen soon. Anyways, that was very nicely done. They held on to the results, like I said, and they dropped them all in a very important way that allowed them to basically alt usage was, excuse me, I got my information just sort of all over together. Hey streamer, the overlay is still up for the RAS versus FU game. Nobody can see the game. Anyways, so thank you for that notification, person. But otherwise, it was very good that they held on to that and just that they benefited from really from that Dragon Blade, and just on top of that, just good picks overall and good aggression and didn't overextend. It was just kind of like the right amount of chemistry. They just felt themselves in the moment and they worked very well under pressure.
Oh yeah, pressure is the name of the game, especially if you're running these dive compositions here, because it's just, you know, dive or counter dive and then reacting even beyond that as those cooldowns come up again, as all those mass mobility movements here. Mobility movements, nice, that's a good one. Well, we'll see how, once again, these teams are running essentially the same compositions. In a sense, double snipers on either side, although Quig sticking on the Hanzo with deep inside on the Widowmaker.
Yeah, you got to be careful that you don't leave Lumbo in an awkward position to be able to fight this off. But I think this is, I mean, if you're going to run solo sniper, may as well be on attack because you're always on the go and you have to get different positionings, because it might be beneficial. I will say that it's a little bit risky still just because it's one sniper versus two, and you need to hope that Darlays can get some good picks from flanking. But already, you know, Furious Unicorn setting up in a good point right here before Car Wash battle even happens.
Yeah, they're going to get it before they can get out of that Valley of Death. And with Quig with the good old Storm Arrows, love it or hate it, they're going to demech and get Phoenix out of the battle here. Well, the Resurrection, there it goes, comes back in, getting people back to full strength, but there's so much damage coming out that Paper Monk will fall, as once again, Hanzo is a very terrifying player, or hero to play against, especially as a tank, as they're going to push it just a few inches farther here. As Leo getting a little deep again, getting close to Primal Rage, 80% climbing, going back for healing. And with Draco demeched, that could be a good moment for Rinse and Shine to go and push. But right now, well, actually, it absolutely is. They are. They're going to go with it. Lumbo with the first pick and 2 headshots to come out for it. And the mech coming close to her, but going down the level below her. They're going to keep continuing this push, and with a not much of a hold here. Well, Diva Bomb just to remech, but she will fall.
Yeah, nicely done. I mean, honestly, I don't have much to report back home, except the weather is warm in Gibraltar. Back to you, Alan.
Well, it's the audio podcast version of Overwatch League, essentially. I mean, weather is warm, and the dragon comes out. Lots of heat, lots of lights. As Quig will grab 2 after a quick headshot into Paper Monk. And they're going to stop this push right where it started, as the payload not making it too far around that second bend here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they're going in right now. Draco Ball is able to demech Phoenix, and this is already looking very much in their favor of trying their best to hold on to this. And like I said, if you're able to hold on to second choke, it's going to make you be able to hold on to it for a very long time. So as long as they don't let that payload stray too far away, they should be pretty much fine. I think, honestly, the positioning is good.
Yeah, with Fierce Unicorn sitting on top of the hangar phase, or on top of the ship, I should say, in hangar phase. Leo goes a little far onto the top left walkway there, as right now Rinse and Shine still trying to decide which door to go out of high ground here, as each team is just scouting each other out, trying to grab those pesky Widowmakers, as right now deep inside does fall to a headshot after a plethora of damage coming in from the rest of the tanks. The Dragon Blade coming in from Darlis, and with lots of colors, and there's literally nothing to say about that one.
There's a lot to say.
It looks very pretty, and well, it seems that in the end, Rinse and Shine coming out with the more heavier numbers, able to keep the point here, as they will keep pushing back and forward. As well, Leo here, he's the last alive, as Quig coming in with a Storm Arrow. Oh boy, that extra Storm Arrow just coming in to demech Phoenix, which is pretty big. But at this whole time, they've been able to push the payload just coming under that bridge in hangar phase here, but they're going to continue to battle right. Oh God, storm arrows.
Storm arrows for days. And honestly, this is very, again, an awkward situation. And there's also a bit of a game of who can stagger the D-Mech D-Mech the longest, because that's just one tank you don't want to have lying around, especially with Diva Bomb like that coming into play. Oh my God!
That's what we've been waiting for all night. Those 3K Poke Bombs, if I say so much myself.
2K and D-Mech, but yeah, and nice double kill from Big Green as well.
Yeah, well, they're going to make their way finally through the phase, and they're going to have, well, I believe, well, I'll wait for the clock to tell me 3 minutes, 15 seconds left. And no one really, few ultimates close here, but the Transcendi is what we're going to be waiting for, because both Genji is probably going to come out with Dragon Blade soon, and those are just going to be battling each other.
That was just pretty much a good pick from Phoenix that allowed them to just sort of get the double kill. When you lose your tank that quickly, it just doesn't make it really easily. Now we're seeing the Reinhardt coming in, and I think this is going to be a great switch. As long as they can get that Earth Shatter quickly enough, they can stagger this to their heart's content. Oh dear. This is not going to be easy. And then dropping that Dragon Strike is actually a little bit too early. I actually would have wanted to hold on to that for something like this.
Yeah, I mean, that payload can only go in one direction in that straight line, while they threw it out in that curved section. A bit split, but the Transcendence from Paul was able to keep them alive here. Deep inside, though, now coming up to his Dragon Blade, and Foodie still has the Transcendence. Oh boy, with players falling on either side here. Well, Paul coming back into the game. Let's go straight for Foodie, and well, nothing much you can do as the Storm Arrow coming in. A little Shramada Bros action as they fight each other to the death. Lumbo, ooh, boy, lots of damage in a tiny place and a tiny woman. They will fall.
They're strong and powerful, though. Anyways, but Lumbo, yeah, unfortunately will fall, and that was just because they were very, very close. But honestly, the fact that they managed to bring out that Transcendence in a good time to be able to take out that Dragon Blade, because they were kind of betting the farm on that, or they were just trying to bait up the Transcendence, and now they're going to go crazy with ult charging, trying to get that Diva Bomb and Primal Rage to go in their favor. But that's like going to be very hard, because Leo's close to their Earth Shatter, and that's going to be very thrown off. And there's the Dragon Blade as well. Oh my God, he gets the first kill.
Yeah, he gets at least one, but who knows, maybe that could call the banners for the rest of the team. But right now, Lumbo is just sitting up top and perched and throwing down as much damage as you can. Cornish, though, with help from Darlis, will fall. The charge onto Paper Monk will bring him down to half health, but with all that HP, that's still 500 health points for him in that Primal Rage moment. And they're going to be pushing through. 50 seconds left, and what the Graviton Surge, but there's going to be not. Oh, what's a no follow-up? But the Dragon Strike finally coming up. He gets it. Both supports, the perfect two people to get. And with shield still from Draco, they're going to stabilize here once again. 30 seconds left. Phoenix had, well, she may have the Diva Bomb. I'm not sure.
It's going to be a little bit risky, and hopefully it won't be too much of a bother, but they do have quite the ult economy coming up, Alan. They are looking pretty with the Valkyrie, Diva Bomb, Transcendence, potentially even that Dragon Blade if they do it quickly enough. We'll see how this goes, but honestly, that Earth Shatter could be everything.
Oh boy, this could be the absolute last second ditch effort here. Rinse and Shine need to take this here, and so far they're on the right footing. Valkyrie and Transcendence both thrown out first, but its paw ends just as the Earth Shatter begins, and its paw will fall. Big Green looking for that resurrection, and will get it easily enough as Leo is the last one alive. Transcendence from Flutie coming in to keep people alive, just barely. Cornish, oh boy, there's so much burst that you couldn't get the resurrection out. And right now, they're bringing it to at least round 3.
Yeah, they will. Oh my God. That was, that's so sad. Like, if you're, I mean, good stuff to Rinse and Shine. I'm very happy for them that they managed to persevere and push on through. Now we're pretty much just dealing with little to no time for either side. But honestly, that was clutch. They took out the Mercy just in the nick of time, and I think Cornish waited a little too much for that res, because if Leo was able to come in and just sort of I don't know, pin somebody or just throw off the team for a little bit. That might have been enough for them to get back into it. But either way, seems to be fine. They are able to work out, for the most part, a fine, well put together push through, and Rinse and Shine does come out on top. But that is only because that they were managed to prioritize that Mercy. They were like, I want to hear the comms. I want to hear like Mercy Res, Mercy Res, Mercy Res, and
I
just like
know.
kill everybody, because that would have been the domino effect for them to Furious Unicorns basically clutch their way through that.
That's something I see a lot in this league, is a lot of Mercies getting away with resurrections they quite
That's
frankly shouldn't be
Overwatch.
able to. Well, that's true as well, but I guess it helps that I have the bird's eye view and I can just see that Mercy just kind of waltz over and just raise her hand up, and lo and behold, they have their player back here. But with minutes left on either side, double positioning, and with Cornish down, you can't resurrect yourself here, so they buy themselves just a little bit more time. But why not push the payload as far as you can here? Crouching behind that payload, not wanting to get shot in the head. Draco, though, will get demeched from Lumbo, who's sitting on high here. Almost got her walls already. Quig with storm arrows, throwing a lot of arrows into a big group of people. Finds out Paul, but hey, resurrection is a good mechanic coming back into the game. Walls from Lumbo. Searching and possibly destroying, but she has to reposition herself here. Looking straight down onto people. A great vantage point. They are looking to hold this corner here before they can get any more ground. Rinse and Shine looking to counter dive. Currently, Leo with the Discord Orb on him will fall finally over the top and come into effect here. As Phoenix trying to look for something, diving through, looking to push people out of the way deep inside. Oh boy, there's just so much damage. And Phoenix coming out with almost a 3 or 4K at the end of this fight. Deep inside.
Oh my god!
Quig throws out the dragon, but he kind of did a little loop-de-loop there and could not get it out.
No, they could not. That is poggers right there, that they managed to stop the Dragon Strike before anything could happen. I mean, I don't know if that would have actually managed to hold, but I mean, that's really good. I just wasn't expecting them to be able to kill that off very quickly, and the fact that the Dragon Strike was there at all, that was pretty. That's like one of those, like, your heart starts beating fast after you realize the situation kind of moment, where you went like, oh yeah, that could have been bad. That could have been really bad. But like overall, that was really nicely done from Rinse and Shine. They kind of just knew, like, yeah, they're just gonna push as hard as we can. So let's just go all in with the, all my money on red, and they just shot to high hell. So that was pretty much what they did, and not much to say there except for the fact that, like, Discord orbs were very good flanking coming in from the Genji, and honestly, I would say Rinse and Shine had a pretty down pat also, with Lumbo being able to do a lot of splash damage and let the team sort of follow up kill with it was really great, because Lumbo didn't show up a bunch in the kill feed, but did a lot of the damage.
Right, I mean, we saw like lots of damage initially in the first couple seconds of gameplay, but it was just kind of a low average for the rest of that minute's push here. But with a one change coming on to the heroes here, deep inside with a Junkrat, looking to punish those who wish to dive on his lovely supports, throwing out those pills and those mines and the traps. Gotta be careful, especially with everyone coming in close encounters. That tire will build up very quickly here, and that's a lot of burst damage you don't want to deal with. But 30 seconds coming to the bottom of the valley, or car wash, as many people have liked to call it. Leo sitting in an interesting spot. Why not? I mean, you're up top, drop down, lots of damage and boosting. But Lumbo coming into the kill feed, 2 headshots to open things up, and this is exactly what they need here. And Foodie with the tandem work from tanks and DPS will fall as well here. And wow, Rinse and Shine, they do not want to end the night here. They're going to push as far as they can. Deep inside, going to throw out the Martyrdom coming into the last second as they fall. But the trickle coming in, it's going to be real tough, as the Dragon Blade from Darlis will secure the victory here. We come into a nice little even 2-2.
Well then. Well then indeed. I mean, Dragon Blade kind of put that to an end, the final nail in the coffin, if you will, and I think I can honestly say this with confidence that there was an interesting composition coming in from Furious Unicorns, where I like the idea, but they didn't have. It was one of those things where it doesn't have enough time to execute. Like the Sombra really needs a lot of time to just be able to stall and hack and whatnot, and you don't have really a minute to be able to get that all together.
Oh boy, and I mean we've been so used to seeing that the goats comp all night long, to where it's kind of like almost refreshing to see dive again and its capacity. So all these very quick movements and snaps of the wrist. Oof.
Oof, indeed. And Oasis is going to be our tie-breaking map. And we might see seeing some roster changes, but what I would like to see from both sides in this is just that keep going with dive. If they do run goats, it's understandable. Goats is pretty okay in Oasis, but also 2-2-2 composition with the grab drag and strike combo may work as well. There is a couple ways to shut that down. We may also see just Reaper again and shut down any dives that come into play.
That's very true, but I would actually expect more of Pharah Mercy here. I mean, because these maps are much more accustomed to Pharah Mercy for the most part. Even on University, while it's a little bit more tight and not a lot of open area and vertical space, you still do see some Pharahs coming out into play here. But we never know, as teams, they're going the distance. They're going for speed. Some say it would be all alone, all alone, all alone.
Was that a song reference?
It absolutely is.
What is that song?
I gotta look up the title.
Going the speed, going the distance, all alone, all alone.
Going for speed. I feel like I don't know why I don't know it. Cake. Good old Cake.
Cake.
She's all alone, all alone, all alone in her time of need. Oasis. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too. I hope that maybe we'll also see Hammond. Hammond would be fun. Wrecking Ball is actually pretty good here.
Hammond not available.
Oh, that's right. It's not for another couple weeks or something like that.
Not for at least potentially the next stage, whatever other
So
other
no, we'll
groups
not
do.
see Hammond, but we may see what would be some unorthodox heroes that could work well. I would say maybe Symmetra. Symmetra definitely good turrets could help out in University and Town Center. Town Center could be ridiculous.
Yeah, you can always hide them, behind all the
Honestly,
shrubberies.
we'll just have to wait and see how it goes.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't mind seeing. Because
looks like we're about to be ready. Hopefully, question mark.
Hopefully.
I don't even know. But we do have. Why do we have so many people spectating? We have
coaches and some
we have a lot of
tournament
spectators,
support.
and it's super cool. I guess it's because we're the last match of the day. Has everybody gone home, gone to bed?
Perhaps there may be a few going on at the moment, but I would like to see perhaps a McCree pop out from one side or the other, because I would assume there's going to be some Pharah Mercy play from one of the teams as well. And of course, someone's in midair. Boy, you're rough spot when you hear that. It's high noon, and you're just going to get popped right in the face.
Pharmacy definitely would have an uphill battle with this. Honestly, Goats is one of the good answers to that. Well, not all of Goats, but that's one of the reasons why Moira is a good answer to it, because of the reach and the damage that is applied to it. Sometimes it's a little overwhelming, and kind of, if you focus on the Mercy and you get the rest of them there, it could be fine, depending on what kind of Goat you run.
Welcome.
I haven't seen too much of the rest of Goat. That was pretty good back in the day before the Sombra update. But we're here finally at Oasis, and we're here at Garden. I don't
Pardon?
remember.
Absolutely.
And pause.
I will start that timer.
Oh my god. Let's see. It's Furious Unicorns in the blue with Rinse and Shine on the red. Are we Furious Unicorns work with a with subs today, right?
Well, Furious Unicorns initially told me that they didn't have any subs.
Oh,
but
they're the
had
ones
some. They
that-
had,
okay.
Each team is running currently, I believe, 7 players, so they have the option. But the thing is, we are already in map, so they cannot sub in a person. They have to wait for that person to come back.
I would honestly say that if they're not switching with subs, Furious Unicorns may have a hard time just due to like fatigue.
Perhaps. I mean, we've seen well, thing. Let me look at who's been playing what. Rinse and Shine been running basically the same, roughly the same 5 people the entire time, whereas Furious Unicorns have been switching out a little bit more. They have the option as well.
How much you want to bet we're going to see a goat?
I'm putting it like a 50-50.
Goat or dive?
I think it's going to be GOAT or
Death Ball Pharmacy?
wait, it's going to be like Rhine Zarya, Mercy Zen, then some DPS thrown in there.
So like 2-2-2 double sniper composition? I mean, it's really close quarter for double sniper. I could maybe see the Hanzo grab with the Pharah. 2-2-2 with Pharmacy could work. Because you got the healing
Perhaps.
more. Yeah. 2-2 Pharmacy with the Zen? Yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome. So we could see that. We could also see the dive. Just because, like, I don't think people have really shaken it out of their systems yet or really updated it. But if we do see the dive, I would like to see... I would like to see more Korean dive than Western dive.
What's the difference there? I don't think I've heard that.
Western dive is more the Mercy Zenyatta that we normally see. And then Korean dive is with the original, like, Zenyatta Lucio or Zenyatta Moira. It's really just a difference of maybe DPS and then supports mainly.
Oh, procedure. All
Yeah.
right.
Well, I mean, quick shout out to Style24 for still rocking the stream and handling it out. Shouts to Dire Boyd for throwing this thing together for us is always good. And then shout out to Necra just because they're cool. All right. Well, also Telrek because I think they're the ref.
I'm the ref here.
You're the ref. Okay, never mind. Telrek, you're just cool in general.
He's just a lowly admin and coach.
Hey, he is doing a great job for whatever he's doing.
Damn.
I
Got
don't
him.
know. I'm not. No, that wasn't an insult. I don't. I don't know this community. I just know like Dire and Steidel and
I see.
Necra, and that's
I
it.
see.
Wow,
Oh.
way to make me look bad. Let's hopefully. Let's see. Okay, hype this up. Hype up this scenario with the composition. What do you want to see here, dude?
Well, let me look it over. I'm seeing a Sombra Well, I'm not sure it will be quite as effective as they wish. Well, just denying health
Yeah, it would
packs
be
would
fine.
be pretty great here. But
Yeah,
with
if they're
the
running the
working,
Pharah, that would be really that would be fantastic because
right.
you
But
know,
they're gonna switch off because they're gonna debate us.
of
But
course.
good thing we got all the players back for the final match. A 5v6 would be no bueno to watch, especially after all that build up and coming in from a 2-2. But fire mercies from either side. High mobility, high
Die.
verticality. People are looking for rockets to faces. Deep inside, looking for a few, but Lumbo gets shot from the ground. Quig with the good work on the bow. And with that, there's a one fall. Fluid, you probably get rezzed up at some point, but it seems like Furious Unicorns coming out with a hard win initially here. They'll capture that point on. We see Diva and all these good old mobile tanks. Jesus Christ, I had a stroke there. Diving in, grabbing those good staggers. Oh, God, my mouth just went high.
It's all good. Honestly, that was fine. I mean, like Leo just had a lot of splash damage as a Tesla cannon would, and it's just as a matter of who could follow up. Quig also getting that initial pick onto Lumbo was really great because that was just pretty much the high ground advantage in the favor of Furious Unicorns right away. And now they have this great position where they can just build up that barrage very quickly, and it could be just no problem at all.
Boy, Paper Monk taking a brunt of the damage there as he has to hide out. He's so close currently, but he will fall eventually. We do see Brigitte popping out into play. Its paw already going up to 50% here on a rally here. Diva Bomb going inside the shield, but it'll make everyone just go behind some pillars and stay safe for the time being here. Deep inside has the rocket barrage, but is currently getting punished by Phoenix here, who's looking to secure the kill. The Furious Unicorns coming in. Looks at Leo looking for the Primal Rage. He does get it, but ooh, deep inside, throwing out a rocket. Too much splash damage. She will fall here. Phoenix will get demapped just a few percentage points away from her self-destruct, and they're just going to let her jump off, go into the water below. It's refreshing, believe it or not, down there, but don't let everyone know.
Honestly, I was very surprised that they managed to hold on to that, especially with the fact that Lumbo were able to get a pick off the Zenyatta before anything else, so Fluid doesn't even have their Transcendence right off the bat, but then they started splitting the party and just trying to go after everybody that they can get their hands on, and that just sort of was kind of a downhill. But you need to be able to just sort of concentrate one at a time. That's usually how it works.
Ooh, Rinsen's Shrine going up top once again, but the Dragon forces them onto point, and with that forces Lumbo to go down after some little dinky headshots from Draco, but deep inside with their own rocket barrage, looking to grab just its paw. Not a bad take, getting that Brigitte out of the way. Self-destruct to get the mech back. Phoenix back in the game, as it looks like with 99% going, Lumbo is looking so hard to grab some more kills. He's getting low with it. Well, Orb was on her for extra damage here. Oh, the Zen down. She will fall. It looks like Fierce Unicorns, though, rallying it back as Paw had the rally, but didn't get much assistance.
No
or
way!
armor
They
onto her
remech
team.
that?
They remech'd, believe it or not, with such little health that she had. But with all this trickle here, they're easily sustaining this one, and they're looking to keep this one alive here. And well, Lumbo throws out a rocket barrage back in spawn because they know it's over. Darless, though, Tracer will immediately go down.
What was that? Phoenix just literally had the time of their lives, and fortunately they could have gotten the full team in there. They just didn't even have to trickle in, but that's what happens, I guess. All right, well, I mean, honestly, the fact that Phoenix lived that long enough is ridiculous, and then managed to remech is just so funny to me, and then took the Primal Rage to just take out Darlace, but I just don't know what to say. That game was unbelievable, just from the standpoint of, like, there are people that lived way too long.
Yeah, it's just about target acquisition. Who are you going to decide who to go for, and hopefully your team will follow whoever that shot caller may be. But hey, I said I want to see some McCree, and we got 2 of them. Now that's a poggers. Let's see if they can pull out some good stuns, because they know people are very mobile here and like to dive their good old supports. It looks like maybe some good old Deadeye may be the answer as well. Phoenix and Draco going head-to-head currently, as Phoenix will be the first to get demexed not quite putting that defensive matrix in the right way. Quick, with help from a shield, is going to throw down some arrows onto Lumbo. And right now, it's Paw getting bullied off to the side. And Phoenix, well, not quite seen at the moment. She'll get to fall, not quite off the edge at the moment, but they'll contest for just a little bit longer. But Furious Unicorn still coming out with great ferocity, and their horns are very shiny and mythical at this moment. It's a beautiful sight.
It's a beautiful sight for the start of Furious Unicorns. It's going to be a little bit of a frustrating battle.
Excuse me for dropping.
That dive right there wasn't really working out for them, unfortunately. They are going to have Paper Monk switching over to the Reinhardt, and honestly, I could understand that. They did have... Now there's this ult disadvantage kind of thing, and it's not really working too much into your advantage because you have a lot of long charging ults, and Darlace is the only one close to the pulse bomb. Meanwhile, at the all economy side, you got Leo on that Primal Rage coming up. You also have that Valkyrie coming in, and there's the Diva Bomb that could come in at any time dangerously if you take out that main tank right away.
Paper Monk currently a little too far away, not barely, but enough for Draco to come in and secure the kill, as they are just falling like dominoes at the moment, and it doesn't take much for them to pull the trigger once that first enemy falls. It's Paul gets thrown out. Oof, boy, traffic laws, boy. Gotta look left and right, but maybe he wanted that head-on collision.
Tactical SD, I would say.
Absolutely.
So, unfortunate there that they just were kind of overwhelmed, but now they're switching heroes again, and I think this is pretty much done and said. They are hero switching way too much, and this is not going to be very much more beneficial, and Darling's already taken the good amount of damage.
I think this is what they probably have to stick with for the rest of the fight here. 5 ultimates, though, on the side of Fierce Unicorns. Hopefully they don't blow it all at once. The Dragon will lead things out there. It's Paul.
Oh, no!
Has the Transcendence. Darlis will fall in the back because it looks like the Transcendence had to move at the time, but
It was too
Leo
far away.
absolutely throwing people into corners and out of the way as Darlis goes off the edge. Ragdoll physics are the best, and 90% climbing. Paper Monk's the last one there. He's so close to an Earth Shatter, but they're going to have to get back to the point quick, but it may be, in fact, impossible here. Fierce Unicorns, though, coming out with the 3-2 victory. Hard fought, but nevertheless, they do take it home, and they get a little bit of help on the leaderboard.
Yep, that's honestly just what happens when you switch your heroes too much and you don't have anything else to work with. GG, well played, and this is ridiculous. Lumbo did try to carry their team as hard as they could on that first map, but unfortunately just not to be the case. They did a great job, though. They tried their best.
In like the Pharah play, it wasn't pressured as much as I'd like to. Of course, we had the McCrees at one point, but their attention was split in other directions, and there wasn't many other hit scan heroes coming out to deal with those Pharahs, and that may have been what tipped it in the favor of Fierce Unicorns. Well, but they move on up the leaderboards just a little bit more. They are ahead, at least in overall standings. While Rinse and Shine currently ahead, well, they were ahead on the stage standings, but of course everything gets shifted as the week comes to a close of all these matches finishing up, and everything shifts around just ever so slightly.
Yeah, well, I mean, GG's well played. There's not much to say left about this, but congratulations to Furious Unicorns going 3-2, and nothing to be ashamed of in Rinse and Shine. They did a great job.
Yeah, definitely well thought and well fought by both sides. They definitely had plans and hero compositions to work with, and it just seems Fierce Unicorns, once they found that dive technique, they could really play to their strengths and find out that dive really isn't dead. Interesting.
Dive never dies.
Dive never dies.
Dive never dies. It just always gets updated. And with that, we're going to update you on scores that you can check out on multiple social medias, and make sure to also follow this channel if you enjoy Owlet matches and whatnot. And this has been MrAlan here and Bemmie, and we will see you guys in the next match. See you soon.
Thank you so much.